Call this meeting to order, Monday, March 7th, meeting of the Mayor and Council. We have with us Pastor Dyke Verkirk with Life Church Smyrna Assembly of God at 4100 King Spring Road with us this evening. Pastor, come on up, and if everybody will please rise for the invocation and pledge.
Would you bow your heads in prayer with me? Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight with hearts that are grateful. Lord, we're thankful for and that we live in a blessed nation. We're thankful for our state, for our city. We pray tonight that you'll be a blessing and a covering over the city council meeting, over our mayor, Derek Norton, over these leaders of our council. Lord, we pray that you'll guide them, give them wisdom. Pray your blessing and your peace over this meeting tonight. We give you thanks and praise in Jesus' name. Amen. Would you say the Pledge of Allegiance with me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor, for being with us tonight. I'm going to recognize, we've got qualifying this week for Ward 2 and for other statewide and races at the legislature. I'd like to invite any candidates who'd like to say a few words to come forward now.
Thank you, Mayor Norton. Thank you, council members. I had been here, I think, a little over a month ago and let y'all know that I was looking at running for the new House District 40. Smyrna has now been split into two state House districts, House District 42, which is Terry Nolwiltz, and then House District 40, which has been Eric Allen's, who has resigned, or I should say resigned, is now going to be running for Lieutenant Governor. He's not qualifying to run for House District 40. So today I went down to the Capitol and officially qualified for House District 40. And for those folks watching on television or listening in, city has been split in two in a sense. Concord Spring Road is the dividing line between House District 42 to the north and House District 40 to the south. Our western boundary actually is the city limits of Smyrna, and then goes southward to the river. So the city, I should say, the future city of Vinings, if that occurs, is going to be part of this district also. But as some folks have joked, and in reference to a lot of folks serving on this body, the first question I was asked by people was, one, had I lost my mind? Which you probably all have been asked that question when y'all have qualified to run for office and served. But the second was, and same thing to everyone serving on this board, is, well, thank goodness someone's willing to step up and serve and bring basically responsive and productive service to both the legislature, but just like what y'all do here. So the election is going to be on May 24th. That is the third Tuesday of May. At the end of this, the reason I'm running, a lot of people have asked me, why am I running for again after all my years of service, is because of service to my home community here that I've grown up in and served so many years. And this is just another opportunity to do that. There's a lot of issues I want to work with here on this city and also the other residents in the community. And I look forward to doing that again with the folks here serving on this board and working with my colleagues down at the state capitol. Again, appreciate y'all's time, and I won't take the full 10 minutes. Again, thank y'all very much. Appreciate it.
Hello, my name is Latonia P. Hines, and I've been before the council before, and once again, I reiterate the fact that I am running for Ward 2. I am so excited to be able to represent the citizens of Ward 2 and to represent my city that I live in. I have been a public servant for 20 years, and to be able to be here and be able to say right here that I am representing and that I am running, I am so excited about it. And so to continue my service, I'll be doing it for the city. I've obviously been in public safety for about 20-something years, so I kind of know a little bit about that. And so being able to bring that to the board and to the council, I think is going to be a wonderful thing. And then also just giving my perspective. There's a perspective of being a person of diversity and having that on this board. We already have that with Dr. Wheaton, and I'm very excited to be able to add that as well. So I look forward to this journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other candidates want to come forward and introduce yourself?
Hello. I can no longer idly sit by while both internal and external forces are at work eroding our community, standing up for our universal values before it's too late. My name is Dr. Fun Fong, and I'm running for Georgia House District 40. I'm a fourth-generation American of Chinese descent, an emergency room doctor, and a 25-year resident of the Smyrna community. I consider myself a middle-class person with classical values. I believe that the best way to improve our community is by nurturing a healthy middle class, and that's why I'm running. For my entire adult life, I've been involved in leadership positions in many organizations. This election is my opportunity to use my experience to serve a greater cause. I will bring my critical thinking skills and firsthand knowledge of health matters to the state legislature. I want to represent you in South Smyrna and West Vinings to ensure that our children have access to quality education that creates opportunities for success and rewards hard work, to safeguard our community and improve public safety, to keep good-paying jobs in our district so that we can work where we live, and to make it easy to start small businesses. My purpose in the House will be to support and nurture these goals by providing the necessary tools and removing obstacles to help Georgians succeed. I would be a counterbalance to the forces that would divide us and look at ways that we can promote civic unity. As your representative, I will fight for the communities in Smyrna and Vinings. I ask for your support, so please vote for Dr. Fun Fong. Please check my Facebook page, Dr. Fun Fong, for House District 40, and drfunfong.com for more information about our campaign. Together, we can build a better future for Georgia. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Is there anybody else who's running for office? I want to thank everybody for putting their name forward to serve. Appreciate y'all a lot. Ms. Heather, do you want to give a couple notes about qualifying this week?
Yes, sir, I'd be happy to. The notice is hereby given that the special election for Ward 2 will be held on Tuesday, May 24th, in conjunction with the general primary. The voting location will be First Baptist Church of Smyrna, 1275 Church Street, and qualifying for this election begins tomorrow here at City Hall in the HR conference room. Tomorrow's hours are 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Wednesday will be 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Both days will have a 1-hour lunch from 12 to 1. And Thursday, they will take qualifying candidates from 8:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. There is a fee of $567 to be paid cash, personal check, money order, or cashier's check made out to the City of Smyrna. And each candidate must meet the qualifications for office as prescribed by state law and municipal code. Any questions that you have regarding qualifying can be directed to the city clerk's office. My email is hcorn@smyrnaga.gov, or to Cobb Elections. The director is Janine Eveler, and her direct phone number is 770-528-2581.
Thank you, Heather. Item 2 is agenda changes. We have one, 2022-130. This is an authorization to add this item to formal business to change the meeting time for our committee of the whole meetings to 6:30 going forward. So I'll need a motion and a second to add this to the agenda. Motion by Mr. Lindley, seconded by Mr. Pickens. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 6-0. That'll be item D under formal business. Item 3 is my mayoral report. I just want to thank a few students today from King Springs Elementary. Tyler Schultz, Theta Schultz in 2nd grade and kindergarten. Liam Kell and Tyler Kell, 3rd grade and kindergarten. And Will Taylor and Grant Taylor, 3rd grade and 1st grade. And Scott Taylor was the parent chaperone. I got to take them to lunch today at Zuka. They won the behind-the-scenes Smyrna tour. So we started with lunch, and then they went on the fire trucks, got to ride in the police car, and saw City Hall and all that, and had a great time. So I really enjoyed taking them, being part of that process. Item A under mayoral report is the introduction of the Smyrna Arts Council Spring Exhibit Artists. These are the 9 artists who have done all of the art that has really made our city hall look great. They're Ida Arias, Helen Dubiner, Justin Groom, Lioness, Becca McCoy, Juliet McKinley, Courtney Moyers, Vina Raj, and Ashley Schick. Would y'all come up and be recognized? Maybe we can get a picture or something? That concludes my mayoral report. Item 4 is land issue zonings annexations. Our first item A is going to be tabled. This is ordinance 2022-05, zoning code amendment to section 501 of the zoning ordinance pertaining to accessory structures with an effective date July 1st, 2022, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute any related documents. This will be tabled until the March 21st mayor and council meeting. Can I have a motion to table? Motion by Mr. Lindley, seconded by Mr. Gould. All those in favor, please vote. That's approved 6-0. Item B, ordinance 2022-07, annexation request, 100% owners requesting annexation, all tractor parcel 1703-400-1010 of land lying and being in land lot 340 of the 17th District, 2nd Section, Cobb County, Georgia, a total of .19 acres being known as Common Area Number 3, Smyrna, Georgia 30080, will be effective April 1st, 2022, and part of Ward 3, and authorizes the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Mr. Bennett, any background?
Yes, sir. I'll add that certified letters were sent by the city clerk to the Cobb County Clerk's Office and the Cobb County Community Development Planning Division on October 22nd, 2021, November 2nd, 2022, and November 2nd, 2021, and December 1st, 2021. 30 days has expired with no objection, and this property will be located in Ward 3.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item? All right, hearing none, we have a motion by Mr. Lindley, seconded by Mr. Welch. All those in favor, please vote. It's approved 6-0. Item C, Resolution 2022-07. This is for a continuance of the moratorium as previously approved, Resolution 2021-06 on September 16, 2021 through March 15, 2022 on the acceptance of rezoning and variance applications seeking to develop or otherwise use the property as a townhome or for a townhome development from March 16, 2022 to September 15, 2022, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. This is the townhome moratorium that we had passed previously, and quite frankly, staff hasn't had an opportunity to dig in like they want to, and so we're putting this, requesting another 6 months for them to do the work and bring a presentation to council. Any discussion on this item? All right, we have a motion by Mr. Lindley, seconded by Mr. Welch. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 6-0. Item D, Resolution 2022-09, in support of the Cumberland CID and Cobb County's submission of a Rebuilding American Infrastructure with Sustainability and Equity. It's called the RAISE grant application to the U.S. Department of Transportation for the construction of the Cumberland Sweep planning project, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Mr. Bennett, any background, please?
Yes, sir. The Cumberland Community Improvement District, also known as CCID, seeks a RAISE planning project grant to advance innovative transportation initiatives in the Cumberland core area. The proposed planning project grant, also known as the Cumberland Sweep, is a technology that would advance preliminary engineering for the various segments of the Cumberland Sweep, segments A, B, D, E, and F, and for the Cobb Parkway US 41 Pedestrian Bridge North, a joint project with the City of Smyrna, as well as the Cobb Parkway US 41 Pedestrian Bridge South.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Any discussion on this item? All right, I have a motion by Mr. Pickens, seconded by Mr. Lindley. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 6-0. Item E, 2022-103, approval for the closing of parts of Village Green Circle and part of King Street beginning March 21st, 2022 through March 14th, 2023 for construction of the downtown redevelopment project, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. This is the downtown redevelopment road closures for construction. Any discussion on this? All right. I've got a motion by Mr. Lindley, seconded by Dr. Wheaton. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 5-1 with Ms. Wilkinson voting in the negative. Item 5, privilege licenses. We have none. Item 6, formal business. We have 4 items on formal business. The first, item A, ordinance 2022-03, to amend section 5, an ordinance of the City of Smyrna Mayor and City Council, floods of the Code of Ordinances as amended, to delete Article 5, Chapter 54 in its entirety, including any amendments thereto, and replace it with new Article 5, Chapter 54, floodplain management, to repeal conflicting provisions and for other purposes, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Mr. Bennett, the background, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Georgia Environmental Protection Division, also known as the EPD, requires local jurisdictions with municipal separate storm sewer systems permits to adopt ordinances or update existing ordinances when necessary for compliance with their MS4 permit in order to address development and redevelopment and enforce post-construction controls. A recent audit by EPD found that the revisions drafted in the model ordinance for floodplain management had not been incorporated into the city's ordinance to date. Changes to the ordinance include multiple citations of relevant CFR 40 regulations, flood insurance rate map references, provisions, referenced collective names, definitions, and various other revisions.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Any discussion on this item? All right, seeing none, we have a motion by Mr. Gould, seconded by Mr. Pickens. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 6-0. Item B, ordinance 2022-04, to amend section 5, an ordinance of the City of Smyrna Mayor and City Council stormwater management of the Code of Ordinances as amended, to amend Article 5, Section 46-148 F and G, including any amendments thereto, and for other purposes, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Mr. Bennett, the background, please.
Yes, sir. The council recently approved an updated post-construction stormwater management ordinance. It was Ordinance 2021-19 that adopted all the provisions of the Metropolitan North Georgia Water Planning District's model ordinance. However, the previous ordinance had a provision to reduce the peak flows from a stormwater detention facility by 10%. This provision was omitted from Ordinance 2021-19. The engineering office is requesting that council approve returning this performance standard to the post-construction stormwater management ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Any discussion on item B? All right, seeing none, we have a motion by Mr. Welch, seconded by Mr. Pickens. All those in favor, please vote. Well, that's approved 6-0. Item C, 2022-074, approval to purchase a Pierce 110-foot aerial fire truck in the amount of $1,179,656 to be purchased from 10-8 Fire and Safety, 1591 Collier Road, Forsyth, Georgia, using the NPP Gov cooperative contract funded from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, ARPA, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Mr. Bennett, any background, please?
Yes, sir. The existing 110-foot aerial fire truck, currently housed at Station 4, is beyond its service life and is scheduled to be replaced.
All right. Any comments or questions?
Question, I guess, is there any possibility of us repairing that truck and using it for a second ladder truck? Or is that the intent, or are we going to retire it?
My understanding is that the cost to repair it right now outweighed us maintaining it.
That's what my understanding was, too.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, we have a motion by Mr. Lindley, seconded by Mr. Pickens. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 6-0. Item D is the one we added, 2022-129, approval to change the meeting start time of the Committee of the Whole meeting from 6 p.m. start time to 6:30 p.m., and to make this a permanent time change going forward for this meeting. Can I have a motion and a second, please? Motion by Mr. Lindley, second by Mr. Pickens. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 6-0. Item 7 is commercial building permits. We have one, item A, 2022-097, approval of the issuance of a commercial building permit for construction of a new independent senior housing development, 685 Smyrna Hill Drive, Prestwick Construction Company, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Mr. Bennett, the background, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A commercial building permit has been issued at 685 Smyrna Hill Drive for the construction of a new 62-unit, 4-story independent senior housing building. It's called the Wilshire Apartments. The total estimated cost of the project is $9,569,409, and Prestwick Construction Company is listed as a general contractor for the project.
If I remember right, we approved this project in 2019. It's right there across from the Sparkles, and they've done the clearing, and it's going to be a great addition over there. Any discussion on this item? All right, this is in Mr. Lindley's ward. He made a motion to approve, seconded by Mr. Welch. All those in favor, please vote. And that's approved 6-0. Item 8 is the consent agenda. Mr. Bennett, can you please read the consent agenda for council approval?
Yes, sir. Item A, MIN 2022-13, approval of the February 17th, 2022 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes. Item B, MIN 2022-11, approval of the February 21st, 2022 pre-council meeting minutes. Item C, MIN 2022-14, approval of the February 21st, 2022 mayor and council meeting minutes. Item D, AGR 2022-03, approval of the lighting service agreement with Georgia Power for pedestrian lighting on Village Green Circle in the amount of $252,360 to be paid out of 2022 SPLOST, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Item E, AGR 2022-04, approval of the lighting services agreement with Georgia Power for pedestrian lighting on Wendy Hill in the amount of $71,631. That's to be paid out of 2016 SPLOST, and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents. Item F, 2022-105, approval of the Smyrna Little League Opening Day Parade on Saturday, March 19th, 2022 at 7:30 a.m. with rolling road closures and police presence following the route from Campbell Middle School to Brinkley Park. Item G, 2022-115, approval of no parking signs along Dunton Drive beginning at Concord Road and ending at South Sherwood Road. And item H, 2022-128, authorize JRM Management to conduct and manage alcohol sales at the Spring Jonquil Festival. It's taking place on Saturday, April 23rd, 2022, and Sunday, April 24th, 2022, with active times on each day as follows: Saturday, April 23rd from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m., and Sunday, April 24th from noon until 5 p.m., and authorize the mayor to sign and execute all related documents.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. I have a motion by Mr. Lindley, seconded by Mr. Pickens. All those in favor, please vote. Sure.
This is a legal question, I guess, for council. On item H, authorizing JRM to conduct and manage alcohol sales. I mean, like, typically, we would vote on a person to be the manager there. Is that not required, Scott?
And I don't think we do that in this context. I know you're talking about, like, if we give alcohol sales to a restaurant or whatever, we vote on a person. I think on this, I don't think we do it that way because it's such a limited event. You know, they have the company and they have somebody that comes in, so it's a little different standard.
Okay. And that's approved 5-1 with Ms. Wilkinson voting in the negative. Item 9 is ward and committee reports. We'll start tonight with Mr. Glenn Pickens.
Thanks, Mayor. No report this evening.
Mr. Lindley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report this evening.
Mr. Welch.
Thank you, sir. No report this evening.
Ms. Wilkinson.
I would like to remind everybody that this is Women's History Month, the beginning of Women's History Month, and tomorrow is International Women's Day, and to think about the women and children in Ukraine and what's happening to them at this moment. Thank you. With that, I yield.
Mr. Gould.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Got a couple things. April 25th, Monday, is the Campbell High School Education Foundation annual golf outing to Susan T. Pearson Memorial Golf Outing. And the funds go towards the Campbell High School Foundation, which that foundation funds a career counselor, which is much needed for the high school, and then supports Dr. Walker with her educational requests. So if you want to come out and play, please let me know. And if you want to sponsor a hole, that'd be awesome also. Second, Councilman Wheaton at the Campbell Middle School Foundation Spartan Fun Run on Saturday, which was a great event. And I smartly stayed out of the fun run and just watched it from the sidelines. But really appreciate those folks who put that together, and it was a great turnout. And this last thing is residents of Forest Hills turned out for an Adopt a Mile cleanup, and I really appreciate them getting out there to pick up some trash and all that. So it matters. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Dr. Wheaton, did you participate in the fun run?
I watched happily from the sidelines. Absolutely. I really had a lot of fun. Yeah, injury-free, a nice injury-free weekend for me. Really, really great turnout for that event. Awesome fundraiser for the foundation. They do a lot of good work for the school there. So huge shout out to the Campbell Foundation. I have a little bit of a personal stake there, not just because my youngest goes there, but also my wife is on the foundation. So big shout out to that effort. And as well, I just want to, thanks for a lot of the good conversations I've had with a few residents over the past few days. A few concerns related to some downed trees, things like that, and some other questions. It's really, really exciting to have people that, want to reach out and talk to you about things, get a bit of an understanding of kind of what's going on and be able to actually have good communication and collaboration. So definitely thankful for those residents for reaching out to me, and I know a couple of them are watching online right now, which is great. So thank you for your engagement. That I yield.
Joe, you have anything?
No, sir.
Ms. Penny?
Yes, sir.
Scott?
No, sir.
Heather, anything else? Okay. Item 10 is show cause hearings. We have none. Item 11 is citizen input. We have 2 people signed up for citizen input. Maryline Blackburn. You'll come forward and state your name and address for the record. And everybody will have 3 minutes to speak.
Thank you. Thank you. There we go. Okay. Well, good evening. My name is Maryline Blackburn. I'm a resident of Smyrna.
And I'm here tonight to simply talk about something that's been on my mind and, of course, the community's mind. There's a song by Bonnie Raitt. It's called Let's Give 'Em Something to Talk About, a little mystery to figure out. And trust me, after attending the special committee on budget meeting on Wednesday, March the 2nd, I believe there's some mystery as it relates to ARPA, the American Rescue Plan Act, the funds. I find it interesting that there's the use of the funds being utilized to upgrade Taylor Bronner Park, the playground, and then also Durham Park. But no dollars could be allocated to do any preservation of Aunt Fanny's cabin. Kind of makes you go, And just in case we didn't know, or you didn't know, that the long title for ARPA funds is to provide for reconciliation. And of course, in preserving the cabin, it could be one that is a center for reconciliation and racial harmony. So I want to take this time to say, I believe it's important that everyone know her story in history, which involves her contributions to African Americans in Smyrna, Smyrna's history inside and outside the historic landmark Aunt Fanny's cabin. History is history, no matter how you try to change the narrative or whitewash it. So I invite you to join a Zoom presentation in rediscovering Fannie Williams on Thursday, March the 10th at 6:30 p.m. You can receive the link by emailing saveauntfanniescabin@gmail.com. You will see that you cannot tell her story and this legacy without the cabin. Thanks for your time.
Pat Burns.
Good evening. My name is Pat Burns. I live at 10 Concord Road, Southwest Smyrna, and am a ward for homeowner. I stand with Fannie Williams. I stand with the sharecropper's cabin.
Did you have additional comments, Ms. Burns? Did you have additional comments, Ms. Burns? It is certainly your right to stand there for another minute and 22 seconds if you'd like. All right, that concludes the citizen input. I'd like to recognize Mayor Pro Tem Gould to give an update on the committee to honor and memorialize Fannie Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's my pleasure to chair that committee, and along with Councilman Wheaton, and the committee's made up of a host of other community members, ministers, and stakeholders from Smyrna and around Cobb County. We had our first meeting back on February 22nd, just laying out the work in front of us, which is really to understand Fannie Williams's life, which majority of it is distantly separated from the cabin, and with the staff's help, to research her accomplishments that again have far-reaching effects beyond the city of Smyrna, including the First Negro Hospital in Marietta, her fundraising for the Weed Street Baptist Church in the city, and so on. So our goal is to honor Fannie Williams in a way that's suitable, with likely a physical memorial, but I think more importantly, some type of living program that will amplify her accomplishments and her strengths, and use those as a teaching tool for folks here in the Smyrna and Cobb County. So appreciate the opportunity to do that work, and we look forward to pushing ahead with that in the near future.
Y'all have a meeting coming up. When's your next meeting?
We do. We have a meeting next week. We'll be in the city of Marietta, learning from the Historical Society folks over there, because that's where the community hospital was built, and so we're out there gaining knowledge and learning more about Fannie Williams' accomplishments.
Thank you, Mr. Gould, and I want to thank everybody. Thanks you all for chairing that committee, and for everybody who's serving. As Mr. Gould mentioned, it's a diverse group of citizens, pastors. We have representation, Ms. Jareen Grimes from the NAACP, and others, a lot of different perspectives. And I'm looking forward to what y'all bring to us as a recommendation. With that, we have no other issues to be brought before this body. I declare us adjourned at 7:38.